healthy.
All right, welcome back to White Mountains today. It's time for White Birch Books Corner. We've already been having fun here with Laura Cummings, who brought great stuff. And not only, you know, we talked about summer reads the last time we were here. Good morning, by the way.
Yes, good morning to you,
We've just been talking for like 15 minutes and giggling our heads off. So anyway, to introduce you to everyone, White Birch Books is right here in North Conway, just south of the village on your right-hand side as you're heading south on 16.
Yes, just past the park and the playground.
Park in the great bookstore, though. Get in there. It's gorgeous. Not only the building, but when you walk in, books of every type from ceiling to floor. You have even discount book tables. You have little reading nooks. You have upstairs kids' books. And then in addition to all the books and all the knowledge,
we have a lot of fun. I mean, that's what was funny. I was like, well, I could bring books again, but we have. I mean, we'll talk about books anytime you come. We can tell you great books to read and everything. But it's summer, which is the time of the beach read, but it's also the time of the activities.
Yeah, and
family time and activities. So one of the big things we want to talk about is our buddy Waldo.
Now, Hans was just saying he is new to Waldo, and I remember my kids loved to find Waldo. They would spend more on Waldo than any other book for that age.
Yes, and there are there are like 8 or 9 different kind of Where's Waldo books and everything. We'd have the new Where's Waldo coloring book, and there's other activity books and everything. But we're doing this fun thing in town for the whole month of July. 24 different businesses, including us, have Waldo.
Nice.
And he is hiding at these different businesses. And so basically what you can do is you can come.
Is it actual this thing?
It's this thing.
Okay.
We move them around every day. Oh. And, we give hints. It's not supposed to be impossible. We don't want children crying at the end. It's like, so for instance, Waldo was at the beach at our store yesterday. He was hiding amongst all the beach books. So you get a little passport. And so when you come to our store, we give you the passport. You find Waldo. We mark off that square. And there's, like I said, 24 business all together. If you do 10 of them, you get a button and a coupon for a Waldo book. And if you do more than 20, you get entered in a final drawing. And it goes the whole month.
That's so cool.
So,
now, are you going to dress like Waldo the whole month? Because I have to give you props. You did.
Yes.
It's not exactly stripes, but blue pants, red shirt.
Horizontal stripes. I mean, it only works
for
Waldo.
That's awesome. And you're on TV.
Right. So, yes, this is my Waldo patriotic look here today. And it's very fun. What it can do is if, as a family, you're shopping.
Yeah.
Maybe you can make it a little more fun for the kids. It's like, yes, we want to go here and actually shop, but you guys go find Waldo or something. And it's a community-wide thing. I mean, we have businesses, I think, the Christmas Loft is the most southern.
Okay.
And then I know we go up to Milford Flooring or whatever. So there is some driving, but you could just walk through the village. Most of the stores in the village are participating. Oh, the local grocer was on our Facebook page today.
Great.
Waldo was enjoying a smoothie there. So, on our Facebook page, we'll be posting different pictures of where Waldo is and everything. And it's for the whole month. And it's just a fun thing to do.
And so every day of the month, these businesses will be moving Waldo around.
Exactly.
And you get credit for each business that you find them on that day.
Right.
Awesome.
And you can do it if you're just up here for a weekend, just go look for Waldo. And, it's more the fun of doing it necessarily than the prizes. We did this a couple of years ago, and we had people who went to every single business, and that was awesome. And they made it their goal and mission in life and everything. But Waldo, it's just a fun thing. It's like an add-on. It's fun. It's fun for us businesses to have a thing that we do together.
I want to Where's Waldo.
I know, isn't he cute?
I don't want people showing up in my house, but I want Waldo. Jeez, he's so cute.
I think last time we did, some people would find Waldo and just take him. And it's like, no, Waldo has to stay.
No stealing. Just note it. Yeah. So they just take it, they put it on your passport, and then they go to the person?
Yes, we make it's kind of like a bingo card, and so we mark that they have found it at
each business.
At each business, and then they go to the next one, and you can just say, I found him, he was back here, or whatever, and then the person either gives you a stamp or makes a notation or whatever.
Wonderful. All right, and more information about that at White Birch Books, or they can stop in at the store, whitebirchbooks.com, I should say.
Right.
And that goes all month?
All month.
Awesome.
Month of July is Waldo.
And the coloring book? I've never seen a Waldo coloring book, because I
That's
figure
new.
he's always,
I know, it's very detailed. Yes.
I'm going to pick it up. Poor Bella's just like, I'm just focusing on that, but I want to open it up. So maybe
it's very detailed. They're making coloring books out of everything.
Yes, that's the new trend as of like last year.
We just got like a Jane Austen coloring book. There's a Doctor Who. There's a Harry Potter. But in addition to all the regular coloring books.
Oh, look at that.
In fact, I had a chuckle when I counted how many cat coloring books we have at the store. Well, I don't know how that happens.
Yeah, right. I'm looking at you, Laura.
And you should be.
Right. Well, that's very cool. Well, the thing is, I like, you guys have also a great card collection, which the last time I was in, I didn't go in for cards, but I'm like, I'll just take a peek, because I know you have like really funny ones. And I think I left with 6 or 7 cards. And the thing is, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to write someone a letter. Because who gets letters anymore?
Right. Isn't that great?
It's awesome.
And I'm terrible at it. But I'm always like, I'll buy this card and I'll write it to somebody. And I don't, but I feel like the thought counted somehow.
Absolutely. And I got this from my mom. She just used to pick up birthday cards, like especially the pretty ones that you have,
so you have them.
You have them, and you say, oh, I have to send a card or whatever, and you have it, you write it, you send it.
And people definitely still do it. I mean, cards are not dead, and people love to get them. They really, really do.
Well, do it then.
Yes.
All right, so let's talk a couple board games. We're talking about quality family time, or do you want to tackle?
Do you want to see this?
Yes.
These are new. I found these at the stationery show.
I'm kidding. I'll hold them. I'm just kidding.
These are products. It's Ellie Poo, and they are actually made partially from recycled, cleaned, everything, elephant dung.
You
let's
guarantee
say.
Me these have been.
They have been completely cleaned and handled. And what's fun is it's a product that's been recycled and everything.
So it's hygienic. There's nothing in here.
It's definitely hygienic. And we have these little notebooks. I know, that's where it all comes from. And we have cards too with pretty birds and things like that. The colors are fantastic.
Kids are going to love these.
They are very fun. My son was always, and he still is, a big notebook guy. So something this size, and I'd be like, "What are you writing?" And it's just like nothing.
Wrong.
And of course, I'd look through him later and be like, baseball scores. And
you just let the cat out of the bag.
Yes, I know
Sorry,
the secret. But also at that show, we picked up this cool thing, and I'll let you take a look. These are journals that have pages that you can literally be in a pouring rainstorm, like last night. You could have been sitting outside with the special pen writing in the rain.
That is, except for the lightning.
Except for the lightning, so you should have been holding a giant metal stick. But,
we're only talking rain-proof here.
Right, and so you can use pencils on it too, but this is the special pen that will write in the rain. And the display for it literally has the book open in a fount of water, and you can just take your pen and write. So it's great for an outdoors, a hiking. It'll write, and we have this size journal. We have all different size journals that go with it. But
I love
the
this for hikers because it's one of those things that back in college we used to do all-weather journal for wildlife stuff. Like you go out in the woods and you record how many deer you see or whatever. But they're just not pretty to touch and see, and so this is something that I think if you're out there writing in the woods and doing a little Thoreau moment that you can have for years to come.
Right.
And
I think it's fun for kids too. I mean, how fun would it be if it's just spring, not pouring, but sprinkling, and they're out there like, I am observing the world, and they've got the special thing. I just think it's because some of the notebooks are definitely smaller, less expensive, and things like that.
Kids
so
love to get journals. Camp
exactly.
care packages. I got my boys some journals for camp care packages. Comic books, journals. They loved it. And now they're like, can we go to camp so we can get the care
So we
package?
can
I'm like,
get
yes, you
care
can. Should we talk a little bit about the games? That
Well,
you
a
or
little bit. Well,
puzzles?
that's what I did was pick some things like family time and things that you could do. Like this one, we were talking about this before.
I know, I couldn't remember if we did this on air. or
Right,
off
the
air.
story cubes.
Yeah.
And this is, we've had different versions, but this is maybe so you roll the cubes and whatever picture comes up, then you tell the story.
Right.
And kids can get really creative. And it's
And
very
funny.
fun to do it with adults and kids. Kids can play it alone, too, with each other. And I think, there's some rules maybe, but you really make your own
Yeah,
rules.
we didn't really follow any rules.
No,
we got
neither
the
did we.
smaller
Yes.
story cubes from you
Right.
that we actually took on travel road trips.
Yeah.
And I have to say that was one of the only games that my boys actually sought out. They're like, okay, Mom, do you want to do story cubes? I'm like, sure.
Right.
And the funniest things come out of their brains. It's amazing.
very fun, and it's so simple. It's like, how did we not think of this? But it keeps you busy. But that's the same idea with like this Last Mouse Lost game. It's almost like a tic-tac-toe thing. It's literally like a round yellow thing with pops, and you either pop the thing up or
something
pop it
pops?
down.
Oh.
No, well, it doesn't.
No, I'm saying they're
Right.
going to love that.
and so it's just simple. It's almost like you could play it over and over and over again, and it literally looks like a sponge holder, but it's a game.
Yeah,
and
no, they were going to love that. Very tactile. I mean,
Yes.
it's like bubble wrap that keeps
and
going
again,
and going.
anybody can do it, almost any age, and things like that.
This. I bet they're going to love. I'm coming to the store.
Right. And then
Hopefully
just for
they're
the
not too big.
parents, I was looking at this book and laughing, a whole book on parent hacks. Different things that if you look at some of them in there, you'll laugh. You'll be like, why didn't I know that for my kids when they were little?
Yeah. Organizing coloring supplies with a dish drainer.
Yeah.
Contain books in a shoebox or wall-mounted file holder.
Some of them are very funny. They're not, they don't use a lot of.
Repair broken diaper tabs with adhesive bandages.
There you go.
That's huge. 'Cause
Yeah.
when you rip off that tab, you're like,
Right.
no!
I know, a whole wasted diaper.
Each diaper costs like $3.
So it's all sorts of things. I was looking at some like putting rubber bands around a baby's bottle to give them a grip on it and stuff like that. I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
it's genius shortcuts.
Yeah, and this is a great baby gift for expectant parents.
Right. Or those more frazzled parents.
Yeah.
Okay, you need some parent hacks.
Should I be offended?
Yes.
Awesome.
But,
What are those boxes over there? Let's finish up with those.
Sure. These are little paint sets.
Oh, my
I had them
gosh.
gone the wrong way. But
That's all right.
And so these are good for kids or adults, but they're whole little art sets that are all put together. This is the little finer of the two, but this one has oil crayons and watercolors and colored pencils and things like that.
Yeah.
And I just love the whole kit feel.
Yes.
Kids love to, I'm going off to work type of thing with their little boxes. And so we have an even bigger one. But these are really geared towards kids.
Awesome. So this with a coloring book nailed the birthday present for the summertime
Right,
party.
or a sketchbook or something. And so when you
Journal.
go somewhere, you say, oh, my budding Van Gogh or something, go paint the scenery or something, and they can set it
They
all
respond
up.
to that and be like, Mom.
It's like, yes, as long as they don't cut their ears off too. But
and the chat pack real quick. Let's end on that. I know the games. I know, Hans, I'm sorry.
Right. We like the chat pack. We have a lot of fun. Again, it's the same thing, kids or adults, and it's just questions.
Yeah.
And it's like, what's the best thing you ever did in your life? Well, obviously, an 8-year-old, has a slightly less to choose from than a 40-year-old. But they're just for whole family, and it's just trying to get the conversation started, having a little fun, maybe while you're waiting for dinner or while you're in the car.
Right.
And any age can do it.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody can answer that kind of question.
Right. Yeah, I gave this to Jason, my husband, actually,
Right.
for him to do with the boys. Because I was like, why don't you guys, don't ask them how school was. Ask them,
Right.
I don't know. But it's all in here. And they're all little cards that you can pick out and just put in the bag.
And your answers are different. There's no right or wrong. I remember we were out with a whole bunch of friends, and it was like, what was the best thing you ever did? And I think my son hadn't showered in 3 or 4 days and was sitting there, and he had like, stains and everything. I said, well, that's kind of the best thing I ever did. And
he's like,
I know. And another friend of mine was like, well, it's when I got this job or whatever. And I'm like,
my
oh.
Nobel Peace Prize.
Right.
And I didn't mean, actually, I said to talk about school. Of course you want to talk about school, but this adds another little topic of conversation. Of things that you wouldn't normally think
Sometimes
to ask.
it brings stuff up, and it's just a fun way to get the, so it's not like you asking questions,
Right.
it's the boxes asking the fun questions, and you
It's
just
not
have
just
some laughs.
it's not just did you pay the bill.
Right. Right.
It's good stuff. All right, cool.
So all of this is in the
All
store
in the
with
store.
all the books and the
with all the
fun
information. Like I go in, I say, Laura, I'm looking for this type of book.
Right.
And she says, okay, follow me, and off we go, and I'm out the store if I wanted to be in 10 minutes, and you guys gift wrap for birthday presents and stuff like that. It's an amazing store, and it's right south of the village, right across from TD Bank.
Yes.
And open what hours?
We're open every day, 9:30 to 6, and Sunday it's 10 to 5.
Awesome.
And we are open through this whole holiday weekend and everything.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yes.
And you're also online, whitebirchbooks.com.
Right.
And your Facebook page.
Yep, check us out on Facebook. We've been having some fun. We do a Staff Pick Friday review where different staff will give a book review. We just had our Alex, who is our young hipster, give a review. It's his first time on there.
Good. And I thought you were going to do like one of your cats.
I'm still working on that.
The cat's not cooperating? I'm
well,
shocked.
I'm sitting, I'm like, do I want to go down this path?
You're already gone, waving back. So, Laura, always a pleasure to see you. White Birch Books online, whitebirchbooks.com, or please go visit the store because it is such a special place right south of Conway across from TD Bank. Laura, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, folks, we'll be back. We don't have a lot of time left in the show. I'm going to get in so much trouble. But we'll be back with more Watch and Win in just a moment.